The truth about learning English isn't pretty, and today I'm exposing everything they don't tell you. Look, there are some things that are just gonna happen no matter what. Nobody really talks about them, but you're gonna face these things whether you like it or not. And yeah, they're gonna hurt. But hey, if you know what's coming, you can prepare yourself better. In this video, I'll talk about these 6 raw things that nobody warns you about. Whether you're just thinking about starting or you're already learning a language, you need to know this stuff. So let's dive in. Here's something interesting. Have you ever noticed how you can talk about complicated topics like programming easily, but then struggle with simple everyday conversations? Or how you speak much better with some people than others? It's strange, right? Here's the deal. How well you speak isn't just about how much you know. Your fluency changes based on many things. Your emotions, the situation you're in, and how comfortable you feel with the person you're talking to. You'll speak better with people you know well than with strangers. If someone makes you nervous or uncomfortable, it becomes harder to speak well. Some days you have this perfect conversation where everything just flows and you're feeling great about yourself. Then the next day, same conversation, but with someone else, and suddenly your brain goes completely blank. It's super frustrating because even after learning English for years, when you get into a new situation, even if it's something very simple, you might sound like a beginner. Let's be honest here, learning a language takes a very long time, and you're usually trying to do it while managing work, studies, and life. But here's the frustrating part. Many people don't see English as a special skill anymore. It's just expected. Because everyone seems to speak English nowadays, and many people think you can learn it in, 3 months? Being good at English isn't valued as much as it should be. This is especially annoying because learning any language takes real effort and dedication. Most English speakers don't realize how hard it is to learn a language. It becomes normal to expect everyone to speak and understand English. When I first got serious about learning languages, this friend of mine said, "Oh yeah, I learned English in 3 months by reading books." I felt so frustrated when 3 months of reading didn't magically make me fluent. Look, I've been at this for 26 years and I still wouldn't say I've learned it completely. People learn English not because it's a cool hobby, but because they want to improve their life quality, fit in a new country, or access better information online. Just because many people do it doesn't mean it's easy. It takes real commitment and hard work. Most people aim for that C1 level, which makes sense. At that level, you can actually do stuff. You can watch movies with the original voices, travel without freaking out, and maybe study or work in an English-speaking country. And yeah, anyone can get there with enough practice, but it's not gonna happen in a few weeks or even months. Many students worry about not sounding charming or witty in English. You might feel like you sound very basic or simple, like a young child. That's okay, it's part of the learning process. What's interesting is that when you just speak naturally, without thinking too much about it, you often sound much better than when you try to plan everything perfectly. It's completely normal not to feel as funny or interesting in your new language as you do in your native language. We grow up making jokes and playing with words in our first language, so it's natural that this is harder in English. The only way to improve is through practice and exposure. Listen to how native speakers express themselves, learn their expressions, and understand how they make their language more interesting and fun. So here's the thing, when you first start learning a language, everything is fresh, everything is new. You sit down to learn and boom, you're picking up new stuff every single time. It all feels pretty easy. Every new word you learn gives you this little rush of excitement and you feel like, oh yes, this is really awesome. When things click into place, it feels amazing. Every day feels like a win and you just want to keep going. But then what happens? Time goes by and suddenly it's not as exciting anymore. Your progress just stops. You're trying just as hard, but you're not getting better like you used to. Why? Because your brain gets really good at the stuff you do every day, and your usual study methods just don't hit the same anymore. This hits really hard when you are at that intermediate level, because the jump from intermediate to advanced is way bigger than going from beginner to intermediate. The words and grammar get way harder, and suddenly every day feels difficult and boring. This is where most people either quit or get stuck, not knowing how to push forward. Here's something nobody talks about: the whole culture part of it. Different languages mean different ways of thinking. Like in English, being all indirect is considered polite. But in Russian, people just say what they mean. English speakers love their small talk, but in other places that might seem fake. Sometimes this messes with your head because you're caught between two different ways of thinking. You might even notice your personality changing depending on which language you're speaking. Weird, right? But it happens. If you only learn the words without understanding the culture, you'll often be misunderstood. You don't have to change who you are, but understanding how people think in your target language will help you communicate better and avoid cultural misunderstandings. Here's another thing: if you don't use it, you lose it. It's like working out, except you don't see your language skills getting flabby in the mirror. You start forgetting words, you start stumbling over sentences. It can even happen with your native language. I haven't spoken Latvian since moving to the UK 15 years ago, and recently I tried talking to a Latvian engineer, and man, it was rough. Look, despite all this tough stuff, learning a language is worth it. My life would be completely different without English. I love this stuff, but I really wish someone had sat me down and told me all this when I was starting out. So now you know the dark side of language learning. So don't get discouraged when your progress slows down or when you feel stuck. Everyone who has reached an advanced level has experienced these challenges. There will always be situations that make you feel like a beginner, but that's okay. Look back and appreciate how far you've come. Becoming advanced in your target language is something to be proud of. It can completely change your life. If you want to get serious about learning English, then you'll like this video where I share all my tips from learning the language while living in the UK. Until next time, bye.